Yes, it's probably live on X and Rumble. Okay, I have an issue right now because I'm a half hour late for this call because I started having a sneezing fit at the end of my last call, and that transitioned into a coughing fit. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to do this. I'm drinking hot beverages and I'm crossing the fingers. So you guys are just going to have to be patient with me here. Why do I have this chart up? Am I looking at this one today? Is this the one I want to look at? Let's see. By the way, if I disappear on you, I will be right back. Sometimes I crash my StreamYard, and I just got to come right back. So don't think I abandoned you. It's literally like 30 seconds for me to restart the browser. All right, what am I doing today? We're going to look at a different screen. I'm going to bring up my Janus here in a second, but I do want to take a look at this today. As you can see, the sun is making its way into the fish side, well into the fish side of Capricorn. And if you follow me or this channel, you know that Capricorn doesn't actually suck, unlike what a lot of people say that it does. If I could multitask, I could bring up a description of Capricorn, because honestly, you guys probably know way better than I do what the current meaning of Capricorn is. I have blessedly forgotten so much of classical astrology, which is great. I know just enough to demonstrate that it's wrong, which is what I do. So we do have this very beautiful conjunction here with the sun and Mercury. Oh, and if you remember from the last call or some of the videos that I did over the last week, when the sun and Mercury are together, the sun tends to soften Mercury. As a matter of fact, it tends to soften any planet that it's hanging out with. And in this case, it might not make too much of a difference, just because Mercury in the fish side of Capricorn is actually really intuitive anyways. It bridges that gap between the intuitive mind and spirit, and also information, creativity, some of the more scientific side. But when they're together, Mercury is so much more intuitive and creative. So this is fantastic. Now, I don't know what you guys have been doing over the last few days. And I don't know what your individual chart looks like, so I can't tell you specifically. Hi, Nikki. I can't tell you specifically. Nikki, you can jump on if you're bored. Like, I'm just here. I don't know what your chart looks like, so I don't know like exactly how this is going to affect you. But I know for me, I have been on a research and writing rampage. We're talking like 8+ hours straight a day, because that's what I do in my free time anyways. But also, it's just been on fire. I know the moon has been right over, where are we today? Is this the right date? I believe so. Where are we at, moon? Can you guys see my moon for me? Where's my moon? It should be over. What's happening? Where am I? What year is it? Oh, Nikki's at work. She can't jump on. You could sneak away, Nikki. Sneak away. Why can't I find it, you guys? I know where it's at. I just saw it like literally minutes ago, right out my window. What are we doing? Moon. This program I'm using is Stellarium. Download it for there we are. Yes, okay. How did I not see it before, you guys? I'm busy just trying to breathe. I think that's what's going on. That's what we'll blame it on. But the moon, I have a really strong Jupiter in my chart. Jupiter is a strong planet anyways. It's a power planet for everyone. This is an extremely creative placement. So if you have a lot of creativity in your chart, anytime the moon is going to swing through this portion of the sky, you're going to see a lot of that. I also had like a ton of energy to clean, like just bizarre. It was crazy, you guys. It's been nuts. So this does happen regularly, but this one hit me pretty hard. Yes, it's in Taurus. Nikki says, like Gemini, Taurus. Yes, exactly. But right here above what was originally the staff of the true shepherd of Anu. I wonder if I can switch this out. Hold on, you guys. Let me see. Let's change the sky culture just for fun. And let's pop over to the Babylonian version. We're going to do the Mula pin. And I don't agree with some of these placements here. I don't think that this swallow was down here. There's reasons. I'm not going to get into that. But otherwise, this version is actually pretty decent. This boat that Sagittarius was in was probably way down here. I'm derailing and I apologize. But basically, you can see this true shepherd of Anu down here. The moon is right above his little shepherd staff. And over here where the great twins are, we had the little twins beneath them. We had the crook up here, which may or may not have been depicted as a bent stick, or it may have been an actual shepherd, similar to Perseus. And then obviously we have the bull of heaven over here. And all four of these, well, technically 5 of these, but all 4 twins, crook, bull of heaven, and true shepherd were all part of the original. Hey, JD. These were all a part of the original Sumerian zodiac that got bumped down to 12, not 13. I have heard people say or ask even, were there originally 13 constellations? I mean, there were really originally 18, and they got over time, like over 1,000+ year period, they kept getting whittled down. Not that it matters. Your true shepherd energy, your crook energy, they kind of blend in together anyways. But anytime we're in this void portion of the sky, you get all 4 of these pulling in any one direction. So again, how this affects you individually is going to depend on your individual natal chart. JT, anything affecting financial markets? That is a good question. We will definitely take a look at that. Are you talking about world, global financial markets, or are you talking about the United States in particular? Because all of those things, there are, subtle variations, and there's different ways to find out. I can tell you the general market for sure, but obviously specific ones are going to vary. Do we want to keep this up, you guys? You want to look at the sky today using the old Babylonian constellations? We could probably do that. See where we at now. All right, so yes, over here again in the fish side of Capricorn. And these, the artist and the person who worked on these and the information, I could probably pop it right up here in Stellarium. They did a really good job. They researched these stars, like I said. The problem comes in, there are conflicting stars and areas of the sky where they think some of these things were at. So we have to take some guesses. Yes, global. We will definitely take a look. Where are we at here? What was I saying? Yeah, so they're not perfect, but they're pretty close. They're really good. Now, if you, again, follow the channel, you probably know I don't get super hung up on the boundaries, the constellation boundaries, for this very reason. Because nobody knows with 100% certainty where the original meanings were. As a matter of fact, even over the last 1,000, 2,000 years, some of the boundaries have changed. So I don't think it's helpful if we get too locked in there. All right, I'm going to switch it. I'm getting distracted by all the pretty pictures, so I think it's probably a good idea. All right, let me see. Go back to, where are we at? We want the normal one. The Seleucid one's pretty cool too. It's like, it's not a full one. It's cool though. I like it. So yeah, fun with astronomy and astrology. I think they rewrote it. What did they write it under now? It's now under modern sky. Modern. There we go. Okay, good. All right. So back in here, financial markets. That's a great question. I'm going to probably have to look at my other charts to see right now what's going on. Generally speaking, everything in the fish side of Capricorn is benefited. Capricorn is a phenomenal constellation in general. Now, people ask, what about the planes that keep falling out of the sky, or the whatever, tragedy goes on in your particular area of the world? Please understand that every day, millions of people are dying, like every single day, okay? From car accidents, maybe not plane crashes necessarily because it's very safe. Car accidents, cancer, drug overdoses. You don't hear about that stuff. So then we tend to not look at it in astrology, or like what could be the cause astrologically. You can't do it that way. And any astrologer who says that, they're totally full of it, okay? There's no plane crash planet. There's no one particular planet for any of those things. Now, if you get down to an individual flight, sure, you can look at that and see, is this flight going to make it to its destination? Yeah, you can do that. But again, the amount of work that would require, it's not really something your average astrologer is going to be into. All right, you guys, I'm going to switch screens real quick. Let's see if I can multitask. Stand by. So I'm going to pull this one down, and I'm going to talk myself through it so that I don't mess it up here. Share the screen. Share the screen. This one. Yes, that's the one we're going to use. All right. So the program that I use is Janus, and you can get a free 30-day trial. It's pretty inexpensive. I think it's like $300 compared to some of the other professional programs out there. The reason why I got it was back when I was going through all the programs, there were maybe like one or two non-Vedic specific programs, astrology programs or software that had the option to do like a sidereal zodiac. They just didn't have them. So this one does. It has all the functionality. It's maybe not as colorful and pretty as some people's programs, but I'm a savage and I like everything stripped down and very basic. That's why I'm into ancient astrology, because it was pretty basic compared to everything else. And I find that that's where we get most of our accuracies from, the simplest calculations. Okay. JD, if you're watching, Fryer really wants you to come on the show. So do that sometime. If you have like some time, definitely jump on with us. What am I doing, you guys? Today, February 8th. Yeah. So this is our chart. So I'm going to go through this February 8th, 9th, 10th. As you can see, the moon is what is causing all of our major fluctuations here. 11th, 12th, 13th, that's pretty much where I'm going to stop. So if you're doing a horoscope, I don't know why everyone fixates on the sun's placement. The moon's the one that's just flying through the sky and causing all of these hour-to-hour changes. Now, if you want to go like minute to minute, you got to look at the vertex, the various points in the chart. They will pin down exactly what's going on. They'll tell you with eerie accuracy exactly what you're experiencing. And if you want to learn more about that, let me know and I can tell you about it. But okay, so today, what do we have? Okay, again, I'm sorry I have to keep throwing out all this educational stuff, but you don't have any idea how frustrating it is because people don't know. So in opposition, as we see right here, if you can see my cursor, there's nothing negative about an opposition. I know it sounds like, oh, I'm in opposition to something. I'm in conflict. There's something being blocked. That is nonsense. And we can see this because every month the sun is in opposition to the moon. And that's what gives us the full moon. An opposition is just a different type of alignment. Now, when it comes to prediction, I have found that conjunctions are more intense, but right behind them are oppositions. So when I'm saying opposition, do not think that we're looking at anything negative whatsoever. So this opposition that we're looking at in particular is with the south node, the moon south node, and Neptune. There we go. Brain. It took me a second. This is an interesting placement. Now, let me see here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So obviously the moon's nodes move quite slowly, but while this is happening, so this is a longer term prediction, obviously, and we don't usually, well, I don't usually cover these when we're doing like the weekly forecasts and stuff. So since we're going into a little bit more detail, just understand that this is not a weekly or daily thing. Okay. But the nodes, in my experience, relate to past life knowledge and experience, karma. Okay, now I use the term karma a little bit differently than most people are familiar with. I'm not talking about anything inherently good or bad. I'm talking about past life echoes and experience, whatever that is, okay, for better or worse. So while we have this conjunction slash opposition, it's tuning our communication, our ability to innovate, our creativity. We're talking about refined artistry here with Neptune. And if you have, again, depending on what your chart looks like, if you have a strong Neptune or you're just naturally very creative, you have something going on in Aquarius, that type of thing, this placement allows you to pull a lot of your old past life experience out from the ether or wherever it comes from and bring it to the forefront. So maybe you can complete some of those creative projects that you have been working on, those artistic projects. Maybe you're going to finally invent that thing that you've been working on for many lifetimes. Maybe you're finally going to figure out how to communicate and express yourself, something that you've been working on for since time immemorial. So this is a positive. This conjunction with the North Node and Neptune allows us to use communication and expression and our artistic talents to basically evolve on that spiritual journey, whatever that looks like for you. Again, now close to, again, they're not perfectly conjunct, but very, very close. I consider this a conjunction with Venus. This at the same time allows for a lot of emotional healing as well as physical healing. Okay. So let's say that you've been really, you feel very constricted as far as your communication goes. Maybe you're in a relationship or in a career, at a job, workplace where you don't feel like you can express yourself or share your ideas or really just be you. This type of placement allows you to heal those old wounds and injuries, possibly from, again, either repeated patterns in this lifetime or previous lifetimes. It allows you to work through that stuff so that you can finally get past those barriers. Okay. I look at all retrogrades, karmic placements as opportunities for growth and evolution. Okay. They don't have to be a negative. Now, they're going to be a negative if the universe keeps trying to drop the hints for you and you're not getting it. Okay. And you keep dodging responsibility or, putting the blame on someone else or whatever it is that you're hiding from. If you don't do the inner work, yeah, this is going to come back to bite you probably. But for the most part, this is going to work in your favor. Okay. Now, again, not perfectly conjunct, still very close in the sky to Saturn. Saturn is, and if you track it from constellation to constellation, you go back, through time, you will see that this ends up acting as far as the general, global forecast goes, not necessarily the individual side, but on a global scale, this is a societal planet. And it speaks very much to these roundabout, 30-ish year periods of change and shifting for us. But it's this placement here, it's especially beneficial. So we talked about some of this Neptune communicating, innovating, creating, inventing, whatever that is for you. It's wrapped up here with Saturn, which means that if you have a career in this area in particular, this is especially beneficial for you. So if you are a content creator, if you are a speaker, a teacher, you're in the academic fields, this is going to benefit you more than your average person. Okay. But again, you probably want to, because of the karmic connection with the moon's nodes, you probably want to, tune into that stuff. Don't hide from the repeated patterns. If you don't want to look at it like karma, you don't have to. I have a lot of, you wouldn't think it, but I have a lot of Muslim clients, a lot of Orthodox Christians and Jewish clients, and they're not on board with the reincarnation, which is perfectly fine. You can just look at this like maybe some genetic memory, maybe early childhood traumas or whatever that just keeps coming back and doesn't want to let you go. So it's a good idea to obviously work on that stuff. All right. An international bad influence. Oh, it took me a second. Says, hey, caught you live for once. We love your work. Always on point. Thursday is my birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I hope that this is your best year ever. Okay. So I really, truly do. Let me see. Thursday. What's Thursday? What's today, you guys? Today is, so this next Thursday. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Thursday. What's going on Thursday? That is the 13th. Do I have the 13th up here? I do have it. Let's see what's going on. So solar return, obviously we can't do because I don't know. I don't have your chart in front of me, obviously. But which we wouldn't want it in front of me right now because I'm live streaming. But if I had to look here just based on this, probably a more active year than maybe it has been previously. This Sirius Sun conjunction is going to happen right on your birthday, like a perfect exact conjunction. So congratulations. That's going to open you up socially a little bit more, environmentally, and maybe get you into help you find your people. Yes, help you find your people. So that's good. I would think that that's good. All right, what was I doing? Derailing. That's what I was doing. Seems to be the common theme. All right. So for the financial side here, we do have, at least for today, which is not going to last a really long time. So I don't even know if it is going to affect the markets in a long enough time. But we have a few days where we do have this trine with Mars and Saturn. Now, neither one of these planets is negative by itself. But there are some times when Mars in particular, not so much Saturn. Okay. I don't see statistically any of the negativity that people talk about with Saturn. Again, unless you're just not taking the hint and the universe is trying to, slap you around so you figure it out. But sometimes Mars does become a stress planet depending on what's going on. Okay. This placement in Gemini, it's less likely to be stressful. Although it can result in, here in Mars, sometimes we get health issues that come up and that we have to deal with. But as it gets back into Cancer, sometimes that can be more overthinking, but we still have a while. But if we're looking for potential issues with the marketplace, this is actually kind of significant. Now, this is only going to go really into, it's probably, we could say it's still in there. I don't have a wide orb on here. I probably should. This is actually probably going to go for a while. Maybe give us another couple of weeks, possibly within the month. But I think that the dangerous period is probably right now. And I think just based on that, it looks kind of temporary. So I wouldn't worry about it. I don't see any major fluctuations, at least not anything lasting. We can get some big bumps up or down in the stock market, but then they kind of, level back off and go back to normal. But what is interesting, though, and again, I don't know because I don't have the US's chart up right now, is that Mars, as I said, Mars in Gemini is a health placement and or a potential like necessitating healing, like kicking in the immune system and generally relating to health. If you read the Babylonian omens, they talk a little bit about like a lot of them relate to pestilence. So now I'm not saying that this is going to be some pandemic or something. What I am saying is if we're looking at it from a financial placement, it's very possible that the losses that the pharma corporations are taking right now in the market are going to continue and may even last. So that is a very real possibility. So, if I knew about a specific area like market or area like tech or whatever, I could probably pin it down a little bit more for you. But so far, that's what I would go with that. Hold on, let me see here. What else do we got? So again, we can't do a whole lot with these because really it's just the moon that's chugging along here. Now we do have a beautiful conjunction with tomorrow. It's going to be tomorrow with the moon and Mars, and that is the conjunction with Saturn. I would not look to this as anything negative whatsoever. The moon tends to light things up and generally act as a positive influence, and that bears out statistically and through the Babylonian omens. We get into the 10th, and I really don't think that this is going to be anything new that we're not already feeling. I don't think that this square in here is really any different. But if we're going to look for precise things, okay, that you can watch out for, a potential for partnership issues, potential, okay? And again, we don't know without your chart on February 10th. And I say that because Uranus ends up acting as a partnership planet. Now, I know this goes against everything you've ever heard about Uranus because you're probably familiar with the nonsensical modern astrological associations of Uranus, which are based solely on the namesake and the events that were going on in the Western world at the time of its discovery. And astrologers just superimposed everything onto whatever planet they discovered at the time. Okay. So that's not what I'm doing. I'm actually tracked these things and figured out what, they were doing to people. JT says, I use the eclipses as essentially a map for the direction of the markets as a whole. For total annular solar eclipses up, for total annular, can I talk today? Lunar eclipses down, but that's mainly for the NASDAQ crypto. So so it's hard. Again, because where are the eclipses taking place? Is it just the general eclipse? I would love to know. Is it just, generally anywhere in the world? Does it impact where the eclipses are happening? like in what country and how the markets run that way. So that's definitely not my area of expertise, if I'm being honest with you. But I wholeheartedly believe that it probably does have a direct impact. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah. So if we're looking at this, maybe don't hang out with people that day, on the 10th, like maybe stay home. If somebody's like, hey, let's go out. I don't know. I might just stay home if it was me, if I was looking at this. It's not terrible, but it's not, it's not great. It's not an easy placement. It might be a little stressful. So, I never looked, but I appreciate you bringing. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Definitely. 10th, 11th, we got here. Yes, we get to running up. I don't know if you guys can see here. We have between the 11th and the 12th, which this is my lat long up here is for Giza. So it's going to depend on where you're at. But we have the full moon during that period. We get this every month, you guys. It's every month. But right now, the full moon is going to occur with the sun in Mercury conjunct with Ceres. Now, Ceres and Vesta are the two largest asteroids in the asteroid belt. They make up a combined third of the entire mass of the asteroid belt. Ceres they just apparently discovered an ocean's amount of water on it. Vesta has its own substrate. They both have gravity. They are huge. Okay, they're likely the remains of a smashed up planet, which all of the asteroids in the asteroid belt would probably be. But they don't. Again, these whatever they got named. That's the associations astrologers gave them. That's not what I'm using. Coincidentally, though, some of the associations that I have found actually do line up with the modern version. So Vesta does relate to the home and the physical body, but also the finances and the career as a, like a macrocosm of the body and, feeding yourself, basically. And Ceres tends to be more the community and the tribe and the environment that you're spending your time on or time in. So with the full moon over here, in opposition to all of these things, we're also triggering a lot of that Mercury and that Ceres energy. This is a great time to be out in the community. So I know we still have that square over here with Uranus, but I don't think it matters. So if, you can hold off from the 10th and actually go out on the 11th, that's probably what I would do. But this is great for anybody who works with the community, anybody doing anything social over there. And generally, if you have creative work, that's another thing. So in the modern meanings, they don't talk about Mercury being a creative planet, like very fertile, very creative, artistic, powerful. It's not just this lame, I don't know, it seems lame in the normal meanings. Vesta's up every day outside her house right now. Oh, that's cool. I live in the city and high rises and stuff on the horizon, so I can't always see it. Let me see. Our moon's looking beautiful out there. I saw somebody, they're like, it was like on TikTok, like a creepy TikTok. Oh my God, the moon has been full for 5 days. Yeah, you get the actual moment of the full moon, and then you get a few days on the other side where it looks pretty full, so it's not really that strange. I saw somebody else, it's been a while, but I see it periodically where people are commenting about how the moon is changing places. Yes, the moon changes places in the sky. That's why we have moon phases. So it is amazing how very little people know about basic astronomy. So fun. All right. And then on the 12th, we also have, let's see, it's basically the same, you guys. It's the same type of energy. Yeah, pretty much. It's going to be the same. I don't usually talk about the galactic center in here, but if anybody cares, I have found, so if you look at the few sources that we have where cultures recognize the center of the galaxy, maybe the actual center or just the band of the Milky Way, they usually associate it with something very divine or related to the afterlife or something very special. Okay, the path that the souls take on their journey through the afterlife. I look at the galactic center as a macrocosmic representation of the crown chakra, which, if you don't know, is basically located at the crown of the head, like right on the top of the head, or possibly the higher crown, if you want to look at it that way, like a little bit above or possibly higher up. Doesn't really matter. It's basically where the divine energy comes into the body, animating everything. And so it tends to give us access to the source, okay, the cosmic source, whether that is, if you're like totally, atheist and you want to look at it from a mechanistic scientific point of view, we're looking at electromagnetic energy or something, or the unified field of consciousness, the quantum field. If you're looking at it from a spiritual perspective, it's your connection to God, your angels, ancestors, or what, whoever your people are that you connect to. So whenever we have these aspects, and again, any lunar aspects, we're going to get those every month. Some of these other ones, this square with Neptune has been going on forever, which definitely can result in communication issues on a global scale, censorship, stuff like that. Standstill year, yes. Yes. Lunar standstill is what we're referring to. So if you ever see that in a chart, that's what's going on. Now, the squares with the lunar nodes, the way we would read this for society overall is basically this entire period in time is karmic in our nature as a collective. And we're working through some of our bullshit. And I don't think anybody would disagree that humanity as a whole is doing that. I suspect something very positive comes out of it in the not too distant future. So just to let you know. All right. What else did I want to do, you guys? I don't know. I don't remember. Had some, I don't know if anybody, excuse me. We did this interview. I don't know if you guys watched it. Let me know if you did, if this is if this is news to you or not news to you, and I won't go into it. I won't rehash it. But basically, we did an interview with Ola Walney. What was that? A few weeks back. And her people, her devotees, are coming out of the woodwork. Just mostly bitching at Nikki. Not criticizing her for her ideas or, her experiences, but more just her communication style, which is not an argument. That's not a valid argument for anyone. So I've been having fun commenting, leaving comments. At some point, we'll probably go through and read some of those because it's really interesting. I think it's interesting. It is unfortunate, though, that so all these people who are commenting, they don't have, they're the first person today. This was the first one. I might be able to bring it up. Let me see if I can multitask and do this, you guys. Actually cited some sources. Like here, this is what Ola is trying to communicate, okay? I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ola Walney. She makes the rounds in the podcast and stuff, and she came recommended to me by my astrology clients, and they told me that she was a Babylonian astrologer. So then when we got on the call with her, and she was just totally against astrology, we were all in shock because we had expected, something totally different. Well, apparently she shifted gears at some point over the last few years. It couldn't have been that long ago because she still has all her astrology readings up on her website. And I screenshotted it on the one hand because I'm kind of a dick, but also because she's probably at some point going to have to go in and take that stuff down. I really think that this was the first time she ever got any pushback on any of her ideas. Okay, so hold on, you guys. I'm going to read at least one of these. I might as well. I got time. So if you guys hang on for just 1 second. I'm not going to screen share because I just don't think I can multitask and do that. Let me see here. What was the one? Oh, I think this one was decent. This was like the nicest comment that anybody left, and it was pretty long. So this gets into so her whole thing, I don't actually know, is that she thinks and asserts that we're all the gods, name one, they're not really gods. There may or may not be aliens. I'm not sure. Archons, whatever, demons, I don't know. Created astrology, numerology, and God knows what else, possibly the whole construct of the cosmos. And I don't know. I'm speculating. We didn't get that far into it. And that it's being used to control humanity. And it's, I suspect, because she brought up the moon trap, like the soul trap on the moon, which is a brand new idea from the 70s. She cherry picked a myth from, I don't know, like Norway or something, like one myth that talks about maybe something similar, like kind of maybe we could squint our brains and see what she's talking about. But that was it. So it sounds to me, if I'm piecing it all together correctly, it sounds like she thinks that our souls are being harvested for their energy through reincarnation. And when we die, we're not supposed to go to the light. We have to, we have to do her inner alchemy program, I assume. She's going to teach us, if we go to her website and sign up for one of her courses or whatever, she will teach us the way to escape the cycle of reincarnation via her system or whatever, which is all fine. You know, I don't care. I don't care whatever your thing is. But if you're going to bring those ideas, you know, like, I don't like, who's the one? Billy Carson. He drives me crazy. He's probably a super nice guy, but he's got like one of those internet superficial levels of understanding of tons of different topics, but not enough mastery in one of them for you're like, okay, like this guy has sat down and really done the research. And you can see that when he does debates and stuff, because he gets called out on a lot of his, you know, his nonsense. Reminds me of vanilla Gnostic ideology. Yeah. And the whole lizard people say, yeah, like David Icke. And now here's the thing. I'm not saying that, well, you know what? Let me read this. It's going to make sense. Okay. I'm just going to read this. So this person, I'm not going to say, if you go to the comments on the video, they're all hilarious. Okay. It's a good time. If you're bored, go watch it, read the comments, because it's great. But this person said today, I hope Ola knows there was a group of people who heard her loud and clear. There definitely were. For further support to Ola's input regarding the process of death, reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead is a really good place to start, because it explains the process of death similar to how it's explained in both the Emerald Tablets, which is not the Emerald Tablets. I hope she's not talking about the Emerald Tablets, which was written in the 20th century. I think she means the Emerald Tablet. I think it's a she. I don't know. I don't know. Furthermore, in the books Balls of Fire, conveniently titled, and The Isis Thesis by Judy K. King, she goes into great detail decoding the texts, rituals, art, and temple carvings of the ancient or the Egyptians, which explains the procedure that occurs after death. That is true. Fryer dropped a major hint about extricating ourselves from our contracts or matrix. That if you have no background in Golden Dawn or anything similar to it, older than it, or even Vedic mysticism, it was easy to miss because it was so subtle but really loud. First of all, if the ancients were trying to tell us that there's a machine gobbling up our soul energy, I think they would have been a little bit more clear about it. I don't think they would have made it so subtle, but that, you know, that's just me. This was definitely alive for many levels of thinker. Okay, yeah, probably. But it was especially curated for occultists who have delved into the more ancient spiritual systems at length. You guys, I don't know. Like, I don't know how more obvious I can make it. If you can't tell, I've at least delved into Eastern mysticism, right? Like right? If you just had to look at me, you could probably tell. Nikki, thank you for laughing at those people with me. Yes. I love it. You guys have no idea. I wake up. I don't usually like wake up and get on the internet. But over the last few weeks, I've been waking up and rolling out of bed and going right to the comments and just like, it's a great way to wake up. I'm very confrontational. Fryer says it's because I'm an Enneagram 8, I guess. So like I eat it. I love it. It's a delicious breakfast of stuff that I get to debate first thing in the morning. All right. So anyways, she also says, or he, I had a lot of moments I didn't like, but who didn't? I think listing them all really takes away from the value. Some will understand, some still have work to do, right? Because if you don't get it, you're an idiot. That's what they all say. Like, oh, you guys aren't smart enough to figure this out. But the important thing is seeds were planted and they will grow in their appointed time. Yes. Okay. So that was beautiful. All right. What did we say here? Hold on. I lost the comment. One reply. Yes. All right. So this is what I said. First of all, thank you for taking the time to watch and comment. It really helps the algorithm, by the way, you guys. I'd also like to thank you for providing resources instead of insults, which Ola's other fans couldn't seem to do. Nobody did. Nobody had like, go read this book or this is what she's trying to say. It was just all like mean stuff, okay, which is not helpful for anybody. I don't consider the Emerald Tablet to be credible, historic, or scientific resource. It has interesting ideas, but it hardly equates to evidence that we're living in a matrix or under the control of archons or whatever Ola is claiming. I still don't know. I wish someone would tell me what she believes. And again, you guys, I'm guessing. I really don't know. This is what I've pieced together. Even through her other interviews, like I'm still not 100% sure, okay? Her website is of no help, and her interviews are all a mishmash of mythology and textual name dropping, but no credible sources are ever cited. Jason Brashears does the same thing on his videos. He's another one who claims to, have all this special knowledge, but can't actually point you to specific, like can't quote your sources, won't cite them. He's a bazillion times worse. I'm definitely going to go through. I might make a whole series debunking his videos and his beliefs and some of just the ridiculous stuff that he says, like basic. Okay, guys, if you didn't know, I speak Sumerian. I actually teach Sumerian. So like his Sumerian translations are so bad that they would actually, if he was right with what he says, it would actually destroy the entire foundation of the Sumerian language, and we'd have to all start from scratch. So like, and his theories are based on these bad translations. Okay. So I'm just putting it out there. Yes, I know her fans are really angry people is what I've gotten from this so far. So I thought about this the other day, you guys. If I ever was popular enough to have like a cult following like that, I would really hope my devotees were not assholes. Because I would be so embarrassed and like just so bummed out. Like, please, nobody go and just, piss all over somebody else's Cheerios on my behalf ever. Please never, never, never do that. All right. So back to what I said. Nothing in the, I'll add that the Emerald Tablet is an Arabic text that discusses alchemical transformation and makes no mention of ancient civilizations or extraterrestrials that may or may not be controlling humanity. Also, nothing in the Tibetan Book of the Dead supports the idea that we live in the Matrix or that gods are controlling reality to steal our energy or whatever she claims they're doing. It's simply meant to help guide people through the process of death to achieve liberation. Many Hindu and Buddhist traditions have this same goal. While I wouldn't call myself an expert on the subject as a Kashmiri Shaivite and practicing Tantrika, I have a much better grasp on Eastern philosophy than most people you'll encounter, Ola included. I assure you, nowhere in Hindu or Buddhist belief is the idea that we live in an actual matrix wherein the gods are controlling us to steal our energy or whatever. To the contrary, in dualistic traditions, which is when you believe like God is something outside of you and, whatever. The gods are to be loved and adored or to be emulated as in the Buddha. Which he's not really the God, he's an enlightened Buddha, but it's basically, depending on the tradition, and there's lots of them, he's basically, either Shiva or Vishnu or whatever. All right. While in the non-dual traditions, the individual achieves liberation through realization that he, she is the supreme. So again, this is not a real matrix, a mechanism that needs to be escaped or to pay Ola to help you escape from. It is either spiritual or metaphysical or something. Okay. All right. Judy Kay's thesis, the Egyptian, not the balls of fire one, the other one, is just speculation, which I appreciate, but it's hardly evidence that we're in the matrix and that it needs to be escaped from. I'm well versed in the Egyptian Book of the Dead and am proficient in reading Middle Egyptian hieroglyphs. The farther back you go, the harder it gets, you guys. But Middle Egyptian is pretty easy. Not way easier than cuneiform. Okay. Just so you guys know, if you want to embark on reading, one of these ancient scripts, Egyptian's probably the easiest way to go. All right. Nothing therein relates to soul harvesting or enslavement. Only someone utterly void of spiritual insight would misconstrue entrance into the Duat as being a mechanism of material imprisonment. JT said, what are your thoughts on the matrix and the source? I will tell you in just Oh no, did I lose myself? I did. I crashed. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Hold on one second. Yes. Come on, come back. Enter the studio and yes, enter the studio. Good. Yeah. Oh, there's an echo. There's standby. No, you can. I don't want that echo. Hold on, you guys. I crashed myself. Stand by. Am I still here? Yeah, but why do I got an echo? Why are there two of me? Hold on. You guys don't go. I'm gonna leave the studio and come right back. Okay. Still having it. Try muting this version of me. And frick, I don't know what I'm doing, you guys. Okay. Hold on. You guys there? I don't know. Pull up my stuff. Please tell me if you can hear my echo. Oh, I know. Do I still have echo? Yes. Headphones. Okay. I'm just whispering because the echo's really annoying. I appreciate your patience. I can't see what's going on. I have no idea what's happening right now. Da-da-da-da. Yes, go live. This one. Yeah. So yes, there's an echo. You guys hear that? You hear it? It says I'm muted. When in doubt, turn off what? Turn it off back on. Okay, I'll try that. It's going to against you guys. Okay. It's making me fast. I don't know what to do. I can't end the stream, or else I have to just end the stream. I might hang this. Okay, it's muted now. Okay. Somebody let me know if I'm still echoing because I can hear the echo. Yes. I gotta quit tapping the friggin' thing too. Okay. Okay. I think I figured it out. I was on 2 different browsers. Okay. Where was I? I was reading this thing. So yes, can we hear me now? Yes, it's good. Okay, it's good. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. JT and Nikki, sending all of the love to you guys right now. Now it's not what? Can you not hear me? Okay, we're good now. Okay, all right. I'm just gonna proceed. We'll wrap it up here shortly, but I just want to read this. Okay. So, where were we at? Oh, yeah. I know people like Ola rely on her fans' distrust of mainstream scholars and their agents to promote their theories in the hopes that they'll never do their own research. But anyone can learn ancient Egyptian, Sumerian, Latin, you name it, and read the ancient texts for themselves. That's why I teach Sumerian for free. So people don't have to rely on the word of scholars. Okay, I'm that person. I'm the person who's like, yeah, I don't believe you. I'm going to go look this up for myself. But, so I get it. I get where her fans are like, oh, you guys say like we all just get reincarnated and like there's no control. I don't believe you. That's great. That's great. So, but you also, got to look it up. I suspect Ola has never read an ancient text in its original language. And I'm not being mean, you guys. I can spot somebody who spends 90% of their waking day learning languages and doing research in other languages. I can spot somebody who's not doing that. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I don't have a life. I don't have friends. I'm a super dork. And this is the path that I have chosen for myself, and I'm okay with it. So I'm not saying that everybody has to do that. I'm just saying that I can spot, I'm not trying to be mean to Ola. I had fun talking to her, okay? I would love for her to come back. I don't think she's going to come back, if I had to be honest with you. Yes. All right. What was I saying? I suspect Ola's never read the ancient text, which means she has to rely on the word of other translators, which is problematic for all the obvious reasons. That's the same thing, the problem Jason Brashears has from Archaics, is that he's using probably, bad translations as it is, to base all his claims on because he doesn't speak the original language. Finally, writing off the gods of an entire, this is something that really bothered me, and I didn't say anything on the call because it didn't, it's not relevant to the argument really. But finally, writing off the gods of entire cultures as malevolent agents of control is actually quite offensive to the billions of people who have come before Ola, whose spiritual experiences with said deities are in direct opposition to her claims. Ola asserts that we're victims who need rescuing, and I'm sure exchanging money is involved somehow, while many of the gods she decries have been providing people with love, hope, blessings since time immemorial. I am a Bhakt, you guys. I love my deities. They are my divine family, and I feel their love and influence in my daily life in all times in everything that I do. So to have somebody look you in the face and tell you that your gods are aliens or demons and they're actually just controlling you to harvest your soul energy it's kind of condescending. It's a little bit, just a little bit. I hope you're right. I hope this interview planted some seeds. I hope people start doing their own research in all things. I hope people test her assertions spiritually by nurturing their own relationship with the divine. And I doubt anyone who does are going to come to the same conclusions she has. Okay. I don't know. I know a lot of people who, maybe weren't into some less than positive practices, secular or spiritual, that started to, they went to God or some form of spirituality, and it made their lives better. I have yet to find someone who has cultivated that relationship with the divine and decided that that divine thing was somehow this malevolent, monstrous entity. Now, I'm not talking about religion, because people do that all the time. Like there are some religions out there that you're like, oh God, what did I get myself into? That's not the same thing. Yes, the Messiah complex. Thank you, JT and Nikki, for telling me about my audio and Messiah complex. Yes. That is exactly what's going on. It's unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate. Now, I'm not perfect, but I can tell you that when I'm doing astrology, okay, when I'm making claims, and you hear me a lot when I'm talking, I'm always trying to let people know that it's not the end all be all, that there are variations. I don't want anybody to get locked into one method of doing something or thinking. But I I do my research. I write my articles. I make my predictions with the thought in mind that somebody out there is going to try to call me out on my bullshit, and I better be prepared, and I better have the evidence in the text or whatever to back up my assertions. I better have the data. I better be able to demonstrate it. Now, when it comes to astrology, I'm forced to demonstrate it every time I give a reading. And I would imagine, Nikki's like that. Anybody out there who's doing astrology. Now, if you're doing an astrology where like only half of it's usually right anyways, because you're doing tropical and you're doing classical and, or whatever, then you're probably used to only some of it resonating. But I don't play that game. If it's not all 100% correct, I want to know why. And then I want to dig down and figure out like, well, how do we make it better? And that I think that's a good strategy. But my point is, if you're gonna come on the show and make crazy claims, or you're gonna comment, I'm going to debunk your try to debunk what you're saying. I try to debunk my own stuff all the time. And I'll do it nicely. I was nice to Ola. I swear, I promise you guys, I had so much fun. It was like my favorite show I think that we've done. And I would love to have her come back on. She's just not going to do it. There's no way. All right. Well, you guys should probably go eat dinner or something. I don't know. I won't be on tomorrow. Let's see. What am I doing? Monday, maybe. I think I might be here Monday. So we can jump back on. If you guys have like ideas and stuff that you would like, things that specifics, like if there's a particular JT, like you were talking about particular markets or whatever, if I can have like, a little bit of time to pull up a chart or prepare, I can probably give you more specific information about that stuff. So, all right, I'll let you guys go. Sending love, okay? Love and joy and gratitude.